Welcome to the Wise Idea Weekly Podcast with Christopher J. Harris, focusing on life, leadership, family, marriage, and the church. We are providing tools for our inspiration and wisdom for life. Our goal is to inspire everyday people to live wise lives. If you're new to us, we release a brand new podcast weekly on Thursdays. Thank you for tuning in for this week's episode. Here's our host, Christopher J. Harris.
Hello, my friends. Welcome again to the Wise Idea Weekly Podcast with Christopher J. Harris. I am your host, Christopher J. Harris, and I'm so excited. Y'all, I can't believe I'm just a few episodes away from 50 episodes. I remember almost a year ago sitting down and telling my wife, we were at a restaurant, and I said, I'm going to start a podcast. She was like, that's a lot of work, don't you? I said, I think it is, but I'm going to figure it out. And I remember praying and literally asking God to open the right doors and make the right connections. And within 5 days, he did that. And within 1 month, the podcast was launched. Here we are now rolling up on 50 episodes, and it has been an amazing journey. I've had some amazing guests on, and we've covered a broad range of topics. And let me just say, we've just come out of the Thanksgiving season. Let me just say thank you. I am so appreciative to all of you that tune in, hundreds of people that tune in every single week. And literally, this is not an exaggeration, y'all, from all over the world. I've got folks in the UK, Australia, that are tuned in, Canada that is tuning in every single week. And I'm so thankful. I understand the value of time. So I am honored every single week when you join in and you tune in and all of those kinds of good things. Of course, you know that we are on mission to inspire everyday people to live wise lives. I am personally passionate about life and leadership and family and marriage and ministry, and that's what we hone in on. And I'm really geared up and excited about moving into the new year. We're going to be moving into the new year in just a few weeks. I can't believe this year has gone by so fast. And so you all know that I am addicted to helping you. I'm passionate and on fire for helping you. And there's no greater topic for us to hone in on as we close one year out and move into another one than to talk about personal habits and lifestyle change and how to just live disciplined lives and all those kinds of good things. And so my announcer is going to come at the end and talk some more about how to plug into us and how to connect. I want to jump right into our conversation today, y'all. And I've got a mentor, a friend, a brother, all of those things rolled into one, an advisor, a rebuker, all of those things. He keeps us in check. Bishop Lester Love from New Orleans, Louisiana, is on with us today. Bishop, how are you, sir?
All is well on my end. How about you?
We're doing amazing. Can you believe this year's gone by as fast as it's gone by?
Yeah, it's been a good year, but look like the older you get, the faster the time goes by.
Well, I got just as many grades, I think, as you, so I don't know if it's about older or not. Well, listen, Bishop, I'm excited because we got a topic we want to talk about, and we want to dig into this whole idea of habits and lifestyle and all of those kinds of good things. And anybody that follows you on social media or that has a conversation with you, if not the first conversation, the second conversation, they're going to figure out pretty quickly that you are living the best of your ability, a disciplined lifestyle. Tell me, how did you get started with all of that, Bishop?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, because I think one of the major purposes for us is also to help people to get better in every area of their lives, spiritually, mentally, relationally, physically, and financially, which we believe all of those areas that we call harmonic prosperity touches every area of your life. And so we appreciate being on today. Actually, my level of discipline actually began with my father. As far back as I can remember, my father was a very, very disciplined man, very organized, very systematic in his approach to life. And I would watch him do things like work out every day. I would watch him, how he was meticulous in taking care of his clothing. I would watch him, how he was meticulous in taking care of his vehicles. I watched him be a leader. So it started off with him. And then I was privileged to have not only a great natural father, but also a great pastor, Bishop Paul Morton. And I would watch him be very disciplined, very organized. And so I was privileged to have two great mentors in my life. And then when I look at my brothers, my blood brothers, I noticed how detailed and meticulous they were. And all of these people that I talk about were very successful. And one thing that I found out early in life is success leaves a clue, but you just have to follow it. If you follow the clues, you can become successful. One of the things that everybody needs a mentor, a coach in every area of their lives. I remember talking to my dear friend Avery Johnson, who played, I believe, 18 years in the NBA. Now he's the coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team. And it dawned on me, and I said, Avery, give me the makeup of an NBA bench. And he said, Love, he said, it's very easy. He said, most teams have one or two superstars. Now maybe unless you're like Golden State and you got 5 superstars on one team. But every team has at least 1 or 2 superstars. Okay? And the team is built around these players. Then you have teams that have 1 or 2 all-stars, people that may not be at the superstar level, but they're very effective in what they do. Then you have role players that understand their role. And then you have guys that basically sit on the end of the bench. And then he said this. He said, but what you need to understand is for the guys that sit on the end of the bench, there's a guy in the park, in some playground, that can outplay the guy that's on the bench of the NBA making millions of dollars. He said, this guy's probably working at a grocery store with more natural talent and more physical skills than a guy on the end of the bench in the NBA. I said, Avery, what's the difference? He said, there's only one difference. The guy on the end of the bench versus the guy that's pumping gas at a gas station with all of this talent, he's coachable. He listens. For instance, we designed the offense for the superstar to get the ball in his best spot. And we put a guy on the end of the bench in the team. His only job is to facilitate the ball. But when he catches the ball, he thinks he's open. And he takes the shot and he misses the shot. But he doesn't understand that the game is scientific. The other team left you open because the stats say you can't hit that shot. But because you thought you were open, you took the shot, missed the shot, and throws off the whole offense. And so much of my teaching and training has been, I do my best to be coachable, to listen and to glean from the people that are in my life.
That's so good, Bishop. And man, you were dropping nuggets already. What do you say to the person, Bishop, who did not have a Daddy Love or a Bishop Morton, whose life has been a hodgepodge of inconsistency, chaos, or lack of healthy models? What do you say to them?
I say to them, after God, the smartest person in the world is Google. You can find anything that you want to find. You have to look and find somebody. Maybe you didn't have a father or anything, a great mother, grandmother, a caretaker, a pastor. But if there's something in you, which all of us have, that wants to be successful, they're out there somewhere. They're out there. So you have to do a little work to find them. But if you research and you want it bad enough, you can literally find anything you want. Whether you're getting into the mind of an author, whether you are going on YouTube, or whether you're just Googling successful people that are living in 2018. There's so many ways you can find out information. This is the technology information age all wrapped up into one. You can get it so easy and so much faster than you and I were able to get it when we were coming up. Just go to Google. If you want it, it's out there for you.
So where do we start, Bishop? I mean, what is this? Where do we start? Like, okay, now I know I need habits. Where do I start?
Well, first of all, your wealth and your riches are in your routines. It is what you
Say that again, Bishop.
Your wealth and your riches are in your routines.
Wow.
I can look at your daily routine and show how successful you are. You have to develop routines in your life. Everything in life operates on a routine or a rhythm or a cycle. And life operates in a cycle. The galaxies operate in a cycle. The heavenlies operate in a cycle. And there's systems. Everything is a system. There are 24 hours in every day, about 30 days in every month. On the 1 year when we have leap year, it throws off the whole Gregorian calendar. Everything operates in cycle. A lady's body, every 28 days, operates in a cycle. And the best thing to do is to begin to put your life inside of a rhythm or a cycle. Because when you do that, you begin to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what's effective, what's not effective. And the quicker you can begin to put your life, your body, your eating habits, whatever it is, on a cycle and a system, the more successful you're going to find yourself being.
So do I have to? So does that mean that are we assuming, Bishop, that a person already knows what the vision is, what the end game is? With that, when we talk about the cycles or the rhythms?
No, you just have to start where you are. You have to start inside of everybody. There's nobody in life that says, you know what, I want to be a failure. I want to struggle in my life. There's nobody that says, you know what, I want to get on drugs and I want to rob my family and destroy my body. There's something inside of everybody, which most of us would call God, that says, you know what, there's more to life than what's being manifested in my life. I have to do everything I can to find out what that is. Who do I surround myself with? What am I reading? Who am I around? Listening to a podcast, turning your car into a classroom, whatever it is, there's something inside of you that wants to get better. And it's a process. It's a process. And you just have to start where you are. Now, the challenge of most people is that they want to do it perfectly. But if you want something done perfectly, perfection is the key to procrastination. If you want to do it perfectly, you'll never start. That's like saying, I'm going to leave my house, going to my destination when I know all the lights are green. Well, you'll never leave your house. You're going to have some stoplights, some yield, some potholes, some turns, some detours. But the key is, no matter what, start where you are. And you look at, again, at the 5 areas of your life. We call it harmonic prosperity. 5 areas: spiritually, mentally, relationally, physically, and financially. And you start off with these areas and begin to find out, how can I develop a routine or a system in every area of my life to make it better?
So harmonic prosperity, Bishop. So let's break those down for a minute. Let's dig into them. And I've been around you enough that I feel like you can give some practical tips for all 5 of these. Mm-hmm. So let's start with the spiritual. What are some healthy habits and patterns that people need to look at to really grow in this area, in this space?
It is the most important of all. It is the most important. It dictates everything else in your life. And it starts off, when I say start today, I literally mean start today, which means you start the night before. You start your life the night before. So tonight would be the night to start. For instance, when I ask most people about their lives, and I coach and mentor and pastor and teach a lot of people, I ask them, the first question is, what time do you wake up in the morning? Okay? They give me a certain time. But then I ask them, what time do you go to bed at night? It starts the night before. Even for those of us who practice Christianity, the Bible said it is a sin to go to bed late and wake up early. You got to go to bed at night.
You say the Bible says what, Bishop?
It's a sin to go to bed late and wake up early. You got to go to bed at night.
Give us the address for that.
I'll find it for you.
All right, we'll put for those of you that are listening, we're going to put that in the show notes because that's a heavy scripture right there.
Yeah. See, the challenge with many of us is we stay up too late. And most times we're doing things that are so non-productive, like television, social media, surfing the net, not even understanding that the light from your television, from your screen, is actually stopping you from going to sleep at night. You should have at least a goal that I want to be in bed at a certain time at night. So let me ask you a question. What time do you go to bed at night?
So I'm a little unique, Bishop. So I get home in the afternoons or evenings, and I'm going to play with the kids. As you know, I got a little small one, and so she's normally going to sleep about 8:45 or 9. Okay. My wife and I then just use our time to kind of connect a little bit, catch up for the day or what have you. And some nights we don't. And then I'm going to use that time to kind of decompress. So I am in the bed and sleep. By the time my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. 11:30 is what my average is.
Ooh. You're going to bed very late, sir.
That's too late, Bishop?
It's extremely too late.
What's early? What's the time?
I would submit that your baby is going to bed too late if they're going to bed at 8 o'clock.
Wow. Okay.
My goal is to be in bed at 9.
Wow. So with the baby, when we would get the baby in the bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock, she was waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
That means she's not busy enough in the daytime. You go hard in the day, you'll sleep better at night.
Okay.
I would throw my kids, wrestle them. I would work them. My kids would be in the bed sore. I'm playing with them, stretching them, moving them, throwing up in the air, all of that to get them nice and tired.
Now this is I'm not talking about my older kids. My older kids are in the bed by 8:30, and then they're getting up at 6. This is the baby.
I know. I got 3 girls.
So Bishop, you're in the bed by 9 o'clock. Now,
9:30, sometimes it's 10 o'clock, but at least I have a goal.
Okay, because I was about to say, Bishop, you get frequent flyer miles, so I was trying to figure out how in the world you in the bed by 9 o'clock when you on and off airplanes.
Yeah, I have a goal. Sometimes I miss it, but at least I got a target.
Okay. Well, my goal is 11:30, Bishop.
So what time you wake up in the morning?
I'm up by 5.
So let's say 11:30. So you're getting 5.5 hours of sleep at night.
Yes, sir. And then I take a nap. Try to take a nap. I have a goal to take a nap every day.
How long?
20 minutes.
Perfect. I still submit. Let me give you an example.
Yes, sir.
LeBron James, hands down, the greatest basketball player in this 20-year period. Every great basketball player gets 20 years. LeBron gets 20. Kobe got 20. Mike got 20. Okay? They get 20 years. Wilt Chamberlain got 20. You get 20 years, okay, to be considered the greatest. He's the greatest basketball player in this 20-year segment, okay? Now, remember several years ago, he was hurt. He was laying on the sideline with ice packs in his back and all of that. He then got another trainer, and he starts investing more time and money in his body. He spends over $1 million a year on his body, all right, between the workout and the private chef and all the things that he does, okay? But just recently an article was released that said not only, and he's better now in his 16th year than he was in his 12th year, okay? He's a physical freak, okay? But the article was just released that said that not only does his trainer make sure he eats the right food and does the right core exercises and all of that, but he makes sure that LeBron gets 8 to 10 hours of sleep a day.
8 to 10?
A day.
Wow.
It allows his body to heal. It allows our minds to heal.
So this.
Let me ask you another question.
Uh-oh.
So when you go to bed at night, what do you do right before you go to bed at night?
I decompress.
Okay, I'm talking about just that, like that 45 minutes before you go to bed. What do? Watch TV?
No. Most of the time, I'm either writing, or I'm reading something, or honestly, Bishop, oftentimes I will either go to I got a little area in our house where we call it the gym, right? And I'll get on the treadmill and I'll walk, kind of slow myself down a little bit, or I will sit in silence. The house is quiet. Good. And kind of just breathe for a minute.
I totally agree with that. We'll certainly get to that later. Reading at night can be detrimental depending upon what you're reading. If you're reading a great book and you're getting ideas and jotting down notes and highlighting things like that, you are literally waking your mind up, and it's harder you may go to sleep, but you won't get the deep rest that your mind needs.
Wow.
Reading at night.
So we got to recalibrate everything.
Everything in life is about recalibration.
So because we started out by talking about the spiritual, so we still talking about the spiritual, Bishop?
Absolutely. We're getting prepared for the spiritual.
Okay.
The night before.
Okay.
I would submit to you to turn your nights into mornings. So if you wake up at 5, some people don't need 8 hours of sleep. Some people don't need it. I get, you're still a young man. I get it. Some people don't need as much sleep. You're not a world-class athlete anymore. All right. So if you go to bed at 11:30 and you wake up at 5, that means you can go to bed at 9:30 and wake up at 3:30.
Yes, sir. I'm listening, Bishop.
So we're going to bed earlier, right? And we develop a morning routine. 20 minutes will change your life forever. Forever. Okay, you're waking up and it's early. Preferably, this is the goal. This takes time to get here. If you're waking up, it takes time to get here. The goal is to be up somewhere between 1 and 4. Why? Right? Why? Because that is when your pineal gland is releasing melatonin. That is when the pineal gland in your brain is releasing melatonin. You are the most creative and the most spiritual between those hours. Jacob wrestled with the angel when? Until the breaking of dawn. And he named the place what? Pineal. Different spelling, same concept. Pineal gland releases a milky substance that keeps us milk and honey, the land of promised land. It's where he said, I met God. He said, I met God at pineal. And between 1 and 4. So if you are between 1 and 4, you're somewhat groggy. You're supposed to be groggy. Why? Because now you're going into meditation. Before you check a text message, before you check an email, before you grab your phone, you put on your iWatch or some device that would tempt you from picking up that phone. And now it's time to go sit and do what you did at night, which I do totally agree. You do it day and night, and you sit 20 minutes and breathe through your nose. Why? He breathed through his nostrils the breath of life, not his mouth. The church teaches a lot about prayer. We don't teach about meditation. Prayer is when I talk to God. Meditation is when I hear. Isn't it amazing at 3 o'clock in the morning, you hear everything, don't you? The ice maker, the car going by. That's why the Bible says, call it a prayer closet. Why? There's no windows in the closet. There's no noise in the closet. But if you're in your office or in the gym, you got the car, the distractions, and it's dark in the closet, isn't it?
All right, so Bishop, if I'm listening to this podcast, because man, we deep. Good gracious, we deep. So if I'm listening to my own podcast at this point, if I've turned my car into a classroom, I'm like, where's the book? Where's the book with all of this in it?
Maybe I need somebody like you to help me write. It's so much, but it's so easy. I just want to give people a basic understanding, all right? You got to go deep in order to go shallow, right? You start off in the morning, 20 minutes. Now, you may start off doing 2 minutes. You may start off doing 3 minutes, but you got to start and be quiet. Be quiet. David said, quiet my soul, my mind, my will, my intellect, my imagination, and my emotions. Quiet my soul. Study to be quiet. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and you will know God, basically what he's saying. Stillness. 20 minutes in the morning. Stillness. Early shall I seek thee. All right? That's number one. Number two. All right? Now it's time to get your day started. You want to do things like stimulate. Now it's time for brain stimulation. So what do you do then? You take a cold shower. Reset your whole nervous system. It's gonna hurt like heck, but it's gonna make you more energetic. It's gonna cause your brain to move, because when you sleep, all the blood in your body goes to your torso because you're laying down. But when you hit that cold shower and you get out, that blood rushes out, and now you're ready to go. I got a radio show that I do every morning at 6. It's different between doing a radio show at 6 and being in my house in my underwear at 6. And I gotta be alive, right? So I'm brushing my teeth with my left hand, all right? Because when you eat with your left hand, brush your teeth with your left hand, it opens up highways in your brain.
Unless you're left-handed, now you're saying do it with your right hand.
Exactly, because you're left-handed, right? The opposite hand.
The smartest people in the world are left-handed. But go ahead.
I don't have any research on that, but I have to believe you. All right.
Almost. The majority of the U.S. presidents that we've ever had have all been left-handed, but that's another conversation for another time.
I'm gonna look into that. Now you're making me think. All right. So 20 minutes of meditation. All right. Now it's time to start your day. Drink your breakfast. The worst thing in the world they could have ever told us to do was to eat breakfast in the morning. That is the worst thing. It is the biggest con game of all times. And then they give you the worst things to eat for breakfast. And I'm a country boy, so I would have grits, corn, worst thing you could put in your body. Okay, I'm gonna go a little healthier. Turkey bacon, meat, worst thing you can put in your body. Some wheat toast, bread, flour, worst thing you can put in your body. All right? Juice, sugar, worst thing you can put in your body. Your body's not ready to eat until 12 noon. It's still digesting the food from the day before. Because you're creating a layer in the body of liquids. All right? And then after that, 12 noon, a gigantic salad, fiber. About an hour later, it's coming through you. Getting rid of it. Everything is about release, right? Urination, defecation, celebration, married people, ejaculation, church celebration, you got to get it out. Right? So now I'm eating at 12 noon every day. My eating cycle is between 12 and 8.
But are we still doing 5 to 6 smaller meals a day?
No. I tried that. I tried all that. You eat according to you're creating a system in your body. My body's at rest after 8 o'clock.
The things that you're talking about, is this so for example, you're saying the 12 to 8 time slot. Are you saying that should be the standard for everybody, or you found that that's the standard for your rhythm? I want to make sure I'm clarifying this for our listeners.
Everybody.
Wow.
The human body is not designed to digest. They call breakfast what? Break a fast. It's a fast that you live a fasted lifestyle. You're talking about being spiritual? It's a fasted lifestyle. There's no need to eat breakfast in the morning. Drink your breakfast.
Even if you're working out in the mornings, drink your breakfast?
Your body's developed enough energy stores from the night before if you go to bed at a decent time to work out in the morning. Go work out. Your body develops enough energy the night before. Wake up in the morning, drink some nice fresh coconut juice, coconut water out of the coconut. Electrolytes, energy. Right? So 20 minutes. Then it's time You're getting your kids together, you're making, you're putting clothes together, you're making lunch for the kids. Now it's time for prayer. Oh, I forgot, I didn't talk about journaling because I'm still up in the morning, all right? I didn't talk about your personal prayer time, but you can journal somewhere between 7 and 20 minutes in blue ink. Blue ink, the human brain remembers blue better than it does black. Okay, it's all deal with the brain. Everything in the Bible deals with the mind, right? Journaling, 20 minutes. I'm eating at the right time. My prayer life, I'm teaching prayer. The prayers that we taught people to pray, they were never designed to be prayed. What's the second prayer you learned after the 23rd Psalm? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be. That prayer was never designed to be repeated. That was a model of prayer, a personal prayer life. So 20 minutes of prayer, however people pray, it's different people. 20 minutes of prayer. And you can do that while you're driving in your car. You can do that with your kids. Turn off that radio. There's all types of addictions. There's a noise addiction. We're addicted to noise. That's what an alarm clock, the noise of the text message, the noise of the email, CNN, Steve Harvey, Lester Love, all these people talking. But the Holy Spirit is a gentleman, so he won't talk when other people are talking. It's etiquette 101. So all the revelation we've gotten has been around all the noise. The most spiritual people in the world are the quietest people in the world. Turn this stuff off. Pray in the car. Talk to God while you're with your kids in the car. Ask them what they want from life. Turn off them daggone cell phone. Get out that Snapchat. Let's pray. 20 minutes of prayer. 20 minutes of sunlight a day. Sunlight. You're made out of the same thing the sun is made out of, carbon. Stars and sun made out the same thing you made out of. It energizes your core. Every day. Walk. One of the worst things they ever told us to do was run. That's the worst exercise of all time.
Running is the worst exercise?
The worst. Your ankles, your knees, your shoulders, your back. You ain't designed to take that. It's the worst thing you can do. Do some yoga, swim, lift some weights, stretch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Gee whiz. What an incredible conversation we are having with Bishop Lester Love, talking about habits, lifestyle changes, lifestyle adjustments, being intentional about every single thing that we do every single day. We didn't do this in the interview, but let me just say really fast that a habit is an automatic behavior that occurs without conscious thought. So part of what we're trying to say is that you've got to get off of automatic in order for the right habits to become automatic. Such deep content, such deep information. I want to strongly encourage you, make sure you go to the show notes because we've got a long laundry list of books and resources and references that you'll be able to just kind of read and check out and check into, and maybe even some links there for you to dig into some more of this information. Remember, Bishop Love said it best, success leaves a clue. And we're trying to give you a lot of clues in this conversation. So next week, I want to invite you, tune back in for part 2 of this conversation that we're having with Bishop Lester Love about preparing for the new year and having the right kinds of habits and thought processes and lifestyle to win in every area of your life. I look forward to checking you guys out next week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of it. Next week, tune in. Live wisely.
Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Wise Idea Podcast with Christopher J. Harris. We hope you enjoyed our time together. If you did and would like additional resources and information, you can find the previous episodes, show notes, featured guest information, and more at www.thewисeideapodcast.com. We also invite you to join the conversation on social media. The Wise Idea Podcast is on Twitter and Facebook. Find us at The Wise Idea and at our Facebook group, The Wise Idea Podcast. On Instagram, find us at The Wise Idea Podcast. Our host is also on social media. You can find him regularly on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest, all located at CJ Harris 1. Finally, if you enjoyed what you've heard, head over to iTunes and or Google Play and leave a rating and review for other listeners to find us. Our podcast is also on Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Thanks again for joining us. We will see you the next time. Live wisely.
Get understanding.